nil, Brighton 3. And yeah, a thoroughly deserved loss. Probably the worst performance of the season, probably, I guess. Terrible for the whole game. I don't really think there are any positives you can kind of take out of it, really. Even against Burnley and Newcastle, we were bad, but you could at least say, we were away from home, or, we had the international break, or the ref was bad, or, the lineup was weird, or those sort of things. You can kind of make up mitigating circumstances. But in that game, I thought when the lineup came out, I saw everyone was pretty happy. I thought it was a bit weird. I didn't really get the whole Hwang and Fabio in the front two playing Neves, who clearly wasn't fit. I thought that was a bit weird, but that team's still good enough to beat Brighton. That's not a dig at Brighton, by the way. Brighton's midfield, I've spoken to some people on Twitter about this. Brighton's midfield, everything as isn't, it's young. They can actually carry the ball. They can beat a basic press. Not that we can press anyway, but they can do it. And everyone knows the midfield's been an issue. I understood why the club didn't really waste money in January on someone that wasn't a part of the long-term plans, but going into the summer, that midfield needs solving. I'm not saying the defence was great or the attack was great, but there's no link. It just feels like we're hoping Aït-Nouri, Semedo or Johnny, or whoever's playing at fullback, can kind of do something for us. I thought Fabio had an okay first half, I guess. Aït-Nouri had moments, but it was a very Ruben Vinagre type performance from Ray and Aït-Nouri, and look, we're still in 8th, I guess. That's a positive. I don't know how we haven't been caught up yet with the form we're on. It just feels like the season's petering out. It kind of reminded me, remember when we lost to Derby 5-0 to Kenny Jackett? I think it was like November 2015, and Johnny Russell scored a hat-trick against us, and it just felt, when we lost that game, you kind of knew the season wasn't going anywhere. It kind of felt like that. And when Brighton missed that penalty, McAllister put it on the post, it felt like, we had a way of getting back into the game. So depressing, man. It kind of reminded me of Newcastle when, for me, this screams of a psychological issue. It just feels like the players know we're stuck in 8th, and so did the fans. And when we played against Newcastle, Chris Wood missed that penalty. By the way, Newcastle losing is big for us because they can't catch us anymore. Kind of looked like they would at some point. But when Chris Wood missed that, or he scored and they got given offside, you kind of expected a reaction. And it was the same in this game. When Brighton missed that penalty, I was like, okay, it was kind of an even game. I don't think Brighton were that good in the first 20 minutes or so. They missed that penalty and it was like, okay, we've got a chance to come back into this now, a bit of momentum. And it kind of never really came. And the one big... Look, I never thought we were really going to get Europe anyway. But it was there, for sure. And I guess the one positive you could take out of this is it's highlighted clear squad issues. It's clearly highlighted the central midfield issues. It's clearly highlighted the forward issues. It's clearly highlighted we need a centre-back. If we got into Europe, you could maybe make the case that people like Roman Say should be a starter next season, or that Dendoncker deserves more minutes, or that Moutinho can be relied upon, or that Hwang's a good player, or whatever. I guess one small positive is it's kind of outed some of these people, I guess. Not in a horrible way. They've done well this season in certain spells, but it kind of feels like a big moment, this game. We're going to lose 3 of the next 4 games probably. We're probably just about going to scrape 8th. 40. We'll probably get to 50, 52 points. It'll probably be enough to scrape 8th. And look, this season hasn't been terrible. Even if it ends badly, it's still been an okay first season for Bruno. There's a lot of things he needs to learn about team selection, making substitutes at the right moment. But generally, it's been a good season. But for me, there's only so much Bruno can do with the squad and the injuries he's had. Can anyone really get this squad above 8th? I don't think so. So, I'm sure there's people saying, maybe not, but I'm sure there's some people... Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. There's always going to be some people wanting the manager out. I don't think this is on Bruno. 8th is an okay finish, given the squad we've got. That midfield needs changing, man. Like, when you look at that Brighton midfield, and Wepu can carry the ball, he's a decent defender. Yves Bissouma, everyone knows how good Bissouma is. He can carry the ball. We don't have that. I still think this squad's fixable. Get a couple of midfielders in, get a good attacker, kind of rely on Fabio to come back. Sorry, not Fabio. Rely on Pedro Neto to come back and be fully fit. Hope Morgan gives White adapts to the Premier League. Buy a centre-back. Hope Johnny and Semedo will get over their injury record. Hope Aït-Nouri and Fabio Silva will kind of kick on. I don't think it's all doom and gloom going into next season, but investment needs to be there. there needs to be a bit of a mental change, and I think Bruno needs to learn from some of his mistakes, because this is still Bruno's first full season as a manager. Because obviously he was only at Benfica for half a season, then got sacked in the second season. So I think there are still positives overall of the season, but that game was awful. That was mental for me. I don't think it was a tactical thing or a lack of quality. I just think that was mental. But yeah, bad performance, but I wouldn't overreact in terms of the overall season. It's still been an okay season. But yeah, Peter and out. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Peace.